guys, so today I'm going to try to do my best to give you guys a little bit of a backstory and so you guys can understand kind of what I'm going to be talking about. The easiest thing for you to do probably would be to watch the videos that we're going to be talking about today, maybe before you watch this video. It's a lot of content, but if you're like, feel like I have no idea what's going on, honestly, that's probably the easiest thing to do. But the video that we're going to be talking about today is from the YouTube channel Alivia DeAndrea. I apologize if I'm saying your last name incorrectly. But she is doing this series on her YouTube channel called the Glow Up Diaries. And she recently released a video about a week ago where she kind of first chronicled her Glow Up Diaries, and the kind of theme of that video was her dealing with BED. Okay. And so it was an interesting video. I actually reacted to it live on stream, but it was basically just a vlog. There really wasn't much for me to say in it because she was just sharing her experience, which, you know, is great. I think it's important to share your experiences. That's all good. Now, this video that just went up yesterday, as the day I'm recording this, this one is a little bit different, okay? So it's a 43-minute video. We're not going to be watching the first part of it because, again, it's mainly just kind of like a vlog, as you guys can see here. It's just her kind of talking about stuff. And there's honestly not much for me to, like, react to because, again, there's not much for me to react to, and I don't really feel like reacting to someone's vlog. It's just, I don't know. It's just not, it doesn't sound fun to me. But the thing that I do want to talk about is the end of this video, the last half of it. So the last, like, 20 minutes, she brings on her personal trainer, who like trains celebrities. That's kind of the whole thing, is he like works with like these celebrities that train for superhero roles. And it's a little not the best is the best way to explain it. It's a little not the best, especially considering the amount of following that she has. It's just not the best. So we're going to go to the part. Okay, so it's this part right here in the video. And we're going to kind of talk about what he has to say.
Of it and send me a few sentences about how that meal made you feel. And if you're open to it, I might. This is ridiculous. Like, I'm in my new apartment, living a great life, and I should not be thinking this much about food, but I started my weight loss project comeback 2 days ago, and then I sort of binged ate today, but I just had this like huge hunger and I just didn't know how to control it. And then I like looked up on YouTube like binge eating, and there was like this one video about this guy talking about it. So then afterwards I called the eating disorder helpline to talk.
So one of the biggest things I do want to say that there's a big trigger warning for people that might have deal with eating disorders, EDs, BED. Be careful here. But the main kind of premise of the first video, and especially a little bit even in this video, or a lot in this video, is that she struggles with BED, binge eating disorder. And so a totally understandable thing that you struggle with, but this is where the problem starts to kind of arise, I guess.
Because like, I just kind of wanted to talk to someone because I was so mad at myself for doing that. It's just because like,
if you fall off track, do not get upset. You're not a bad person. That's really important to understand. A lot of people are like, oh, I feel bad. Do not have that relationship with food. That's horrible. Every time you have a great meal, you finish your meal, you move on, terrific. You did something great. You feel good about yourself. Let's say you didn't eat a great meal. Do not feel bad about yourself. That's not what this is about. Okay, next meal I'm going to do better. This is a learning curve. We've got to learn how to do this. Do you think Alivia just did this? Hey, here I am, I just did this. No, she gave herself leeway. She learned, she processed, she went through it, and I'll be there for you. If you guys...
Now, so with this so far, because I've already seen this video, with this so far, I was like, yeah, I agree with everything that he's saying right here. I think that's great. Not to put like, if you eat bad, you're not bad, right? Putting morals on food and then taking those morals and putting them on you. That's all great information that I agree with, right? So far I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I mean, nothing really problematic at all here.
Have a question, just email me. It might take me a couple of days, I get a lot of them, but I promise you I'll get to your email. I'll be there with you on this journey. If you have a question about nutrition, feel free to email me.
Yeah, you guys are probably like, what the heck, Olivia? You're trying to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. But then we're like, oh, it's finals week. Gonna get back on track tomorrow. You know mine is actually worse than yours, right?
No.
It is.
So this is frustrating right here. I didn't even notice this until just now. But it says upcoming episode in season 2. And it says down there, how I rewired my brain to not want sugar anymore. Okay.
Because I'm eating sugar.
Okay, I'm eating whatever this is.
You're right. Processed meat isn't good either.
Thanks.
What do you want me to say? It's so healthy, Alyssa.
Thanks. I do want to so.
So to me, sugar is the worst thing.
A little update. My head hurts now. Like the back of my head. I've had too much sugar. Oh my gosh. Ow.
So when I'm talking sugar, I'm talking processed sugars, not sugar that you're gonna find in an apple. Sugar is what causes us to gain weight.
No. This is so frustrating, man. This is so frustrating because this video has over 600,000 views in one day, okay? It's so frustrating because I do believe that Alivia, the YouTuber here, is trying to help people. I think her main target audience is young ladies. So I do think that she is trying to help people. This guy, I don't really know his credentials, but I don't think he's a dietitian, okay? Dude, it's so frustrating, man. I'm not trying to like take it personally, but like, you guys, please, the reason you gain fat is if you're in a caloric surplus, okay? That can be from fat, that can be from sugar, carbs, right? Not just sugar, any carbs. It could be you eat too much freaking brown rice. That's why you gain weight. Not because you just had too much sugar. You could have a lot of sugar and still be in a deficit and lose weight. Would I recommend that? Obviously not. But it's just so frustrating. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore.
When we eat sugar, our insulin goes through the roof.
I'm not sure if this is the best way to explain insulin, but this visual helped me understand it much
Dude, this... Oh. Okay.
better. Insulin has to be down in order to be in fat burning zone.
No. You have to be in a caloric deficit. Okay?
Every time you eat, you spike your insulin. When your insulin is
Dude, this stuff, oh, it's so frustrating. This stuff is what makes people afraid to eat, dude. Like, this, I don't understand how she doesn't see this. Like, this type of rhetoric is what puts people in bad positions with food, man. I just spit everywhere. It's so frustrating, man. Like, think about it. If you're an impressionable young lady and you see that, what's the first thing that pops into your freaking head? I'm just not going to eat. I'm going to go as long as I can without eating. And what happens when you go too long without eating? You freaking binge after a while. Like, oh, dude, I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her. I understand that she doesn't really understand this stuff. But if you don't really understand it, don't make a video about it to millions of people. Okay, sorry.
up, you cannot burn fat. When you're not eating, your insulin is down, which is why Steve places such a heavy emphasis on the timing of your meals. Not all calories are the same. Yes, a cookie is 100 calories and an apple is 100 calories. But what I now know is that a cookie spikes your insulin through the roof, and an apple spikes it much lower.
So that's true, okay? But if you have a completely healthy like pancreas and a healthy body, it's okay. It's fine if that happens. So again, this is making people afraid to eat a freaking cookie, bro. Trust me, you can eat a cookie and lose weight. I promise. I promise you. Guess what? I eat cookies all the time. I like cookies. Cookies are my friend. I also eat a lot of apples. Okay? Don't be afraid to have a cookie every once in a while, please. And think that if you eat it, it's inherently worse. Sorry.
When you spike your insulin that high, it takes much longer for you to get yourself back into fat burning zone. There are several charts in Superhero Nutrition that tells you how high each food spikes your insulin.
So this book is his, by the way. This is one of his books. Just so you guys know that she's bringing
and
up.
offers replacements for lower insulin spiking foods. I didn't know in the past that I kept spiking my insulin, and that explains why I was so hungry all the time, always wanting to eat, my head hurt, I was tired. Insulin is so important. There's a 30-day meal plan at the end of this book centered around keeping your insulin down. I used this in the beginning when I was still confused, and I highly recommend it.
Please do not just do a meal plan that is in the back of a book, okay? That stuff is very individualized for the person, and just doing a meal plan in the back of a book is not a good idea. So please do not do this.
Kind of like training wheels until you understand it yourself. Anyway, I hope this helps.
So sugar starts to cause us to start to go up and down, and we call it roller coastering, where you just are like, I'm so hungry, I'm famished. Why? Because you went way up and then your insulin dropped way down.
All right, update. It's like almost 9 p.m. and I'm starting to have cravings for sugar. So last night I had sugar, but today is day 1. I woke up, I was like, wait a second, I want like pancakes and French toast and stuff. But I'm like, Olivia, it's day 1 of your transformation. Like, if you don't start now, when will you ever?
We have to cut sugar out to get the body to change.
That right there is so freaking frustrating, man, because it's just not true. Like, you do not. And like, I'm not even trying to sit here and be like, people that like keto or whatever, I'm not trying to make this a keto thing. Like, that's not what this is about. If you like to do keto, that's fine. Like, I'm not even sitting here. But when you are spreading misinformation, that's the problem. You do not have to cut out sugar to have the body you want. You just don't have to do that, right? That's just not true. And so it's just frustrating because this guy, especially to these young women that are watching these videos, because that's her target audience, they're like, oh, everything he says must be 100% true and everyone must agree with it, right? Because he's a guy that trains Chris Evans or whatever. It's just not true. It's just not true like that. Ugh.
And it sounds like an easy thing to do, but you find sugar in a lot of things that you're eating.
I don't know why. I shouldn't let the scale get to me like this, but seeing that number just makes me feel so bad, and I don't even want to go out now. I think it's just the reality of when I look at myself in the mirror, sometimes it's hard, and when I step on the scale, it's hard, and I shouldn't depend on the number on the scale to tell me how beautiful I am.
So I do want to make it clear, like, it's hard. I know it's going to seem, especially if you're like a fan of hers, that I'm just some mean guy that is trying to make her feel bad, especially because, you know, there's parts of this video that are very real and raw. And I don't at all think that she is malicious in what she is sharing. I really don't. I think she's trying to be honest. I'm not really mad at her. It's the fact that this guy is doing what he's doing. That's my problem. Okay, so if you're a fan of Alivia, I don't think she's a bad person. I think she's actually pretty brave sharing a lot of these really low moments because your boy just doesn't film when I'm feeling like that. So I want to make it very clear. I'm not sitting here trying to say like she's a terrible person, but it is frustrating when people that have such large platforms make claims or have other people make claims for them that are just not true and can be harmful.
Do not worry about scale weight. We all look at the scale. We jump on and we think that that's the end all. It's not the end all at all. It's one of 3 parts. So we have the scale, we have body fat, and we have measurements. And what we use a scale for is to see where our starting number is. What I use the body fat for is to see what percentage of the scale is actually fat pounds. How much is muscle? How much is water? The measurements, now what we do with that is we measure the body. I want to look for symmetry. So I want to make your right leg as symmetrical as your left leg because our eye loves symmetry. 1 pound of muscle.
So everything he said right there, I'm like, whatever. I don't disagree with that. I think a lot of people make the scale evil and they demonize it. Like, if you're able to use the scale in a healthy way, all of this stuff that he's saying, I don't disagree with. I think, you know, being able to track in more than just the scale is important. So again, I don't disagree with what he's saying here.
And 1 pound of fat weigh the same. They weigh 1 pound. Muscle doesn't weigh more than fat. People always go, oh, muscle weighs more. No, not true. What it does is it's half the size. So 1 pound of fat takes up that much room.
Who do you bet owns Hollywood subs? Do you think maybe it's him? I'm sorry. That made me laugh when I was watching
1
it.
pound of muscle takes up this much room. If you lose 10 pounds of fat, gain 10 pounds of muscle. Now, scale stays the same, but you're considerably smaller. So your body fat percentage comes down. Your dress size comes way down. It's really about looking great and doesn't matter what that scale says. I've had some great makeovers and I loved them because the person not only came down 3 dress sizes in just a few weeks, inches came off, the before and after pictures were amazing, and she gained 4 pounds on the scale. Scale weight is important only in the 3 parts, but it's not important on its own because without the other 2 parts, we don't know what that scale actually means.
Right.
So the thing that's interesting to me, and I don't know if this is on purpose or maybe he just didn't know much about what was going on with the BED stuff, but like they really don't talk about it much, which is so weird because again, if you watch the first episode and most of this episode, that's the thing that she's struggling with. And so it's like all of these things are great and good, but like if you're really struggling with BED, it's like, yes, the information, whatever, but it doesn't help me.
So, weight loss journey begins. Actually, I've tried so many times, I don't even know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna show you exactly where I am right now.
There are 3 parts to getting in great shape. Number 1, weight training. Number 2, nutrition. Number 3, cardio. Why do we lift weights? The reason why we lift weights is to build muscle. Muscle burns more calories than fat. The more lean muscle you have, the more your body is burning calories every day just being yourself.
That's true. Personally, I would put nutrition first always over everything else. Like if you're trying to lose weight, nutrition is always first in my opinion. But you know what he's saying here about having more lean mass and stuff. Yes, like the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. So therefore you can have your metabolism is faster. You can eat more food and still stay lean, right? He's not wrong there.
Then we go to the nutrition. We want to make sure that we are starving the fat and feeding the muscle.
Starving the fat and feeding the muscle. If that is not the most bro science thing I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is. I don't know what is.
What's real important about nutrition is there's 2 sides to it. It's when you eat and what you eat. Number 1 is actually when you eat. If you're
No! What? Dude! What? No. Not true. Okay? What you eat, I promise you, is more important than when. Like, I promise you, what you eat is more important than when. That should be number 1, dude. Oh my gosh. I miss some of this stuff because your boy, when I watch videos most of the time, I'm on my phone some of the times, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't even see this when I first watched the video. But oh my God.
If you're not eating at the right time, your body will not burn fat for energy.
Bro! So, what he said there, the very end, he said it will not burn fat for energy. Okay. So there's people that will argue, you know, if you don't have many carbs and you are, you're like in ketosis, your body is burning fat for energy, right? So like he kind of slid that in there. But again, most people that are watching this video aren't going to know that, right? And so they're going to think that you need to not. They're just going to think you don't need, if you don't eat, you're going to burn fat. Like that's what people are hearing, right?
And that's really important because when we do a workout, we want to position our body to burn fat for energy. But if we've eaten too far before or too far after, there's a time zone when you're supposed to eat. Then we go.
Oh my God, dude. No. Your body isn't burning the body fat that you have for energy. If you're like in ketosis, that's not how it works. Okay? It's burning the fat that you have eaten. It's not burning your body fat for energy. Oh my God, dude.
Go into cardio. Number 3. The idea of this is to put you in the zone to burn the most amount of fat in the least amount of time.
I am not giving up, and I'm focusing on the positive.
When you look at somebody on screen, you take a look and you're like, wow, they look amazing. Why do they look amazing? What I do...
Plastic surgery. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. It just says celebrities. How do you make celebrities look so good? And they get the plastic surgery, my friend.
Is I balance the body out. It's all about symmetry. When the right and left side are symmetrical, when your front to back is symmetrical, you pop on screen. You don't want to overdevelop something and underdevelop something else. That's what a lot of people do.
Again, you guys. The whole video has been about BED. And he's talking about symmetry. Why? Why are we talking about this?
When they work out. They go to the gym, they work out, they overdevelop what I call their mirror muscles, what they see in front. And what they don't do is they don't develop what's in back, and they don't know how to do it and how to do it properly.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, if there's one thing you should know, like the body part I'm most self-conscious about is definitely like my arms. Kind of
This part. Dude.
Like my upper body too, but mainly my arms. So I really want to get them like toned out and lean.
People work the inside part of their tricep more than they do the outside, and they don't know that. So they're working triceps. They don't know how to isolate the...
Bro, who are you talking to right now? Was Arnold Schwarzenegger behind the freaking camera here, dude? Like, what?
outside from the inside. And when they don't do that, one thing overdevelops, and then the inside head overdevelops, and it does that. And now your arm looks thick. Where do great arms come from? Where do great legs come from?
Genetics.
Great glutes. You've got to create these lines. These lines are actually muscles. And what I'm trying to do is make sure the muscle is complete. I like to bring it out. It's not just all diet.
You guys. Yes, you can build muscle and make certain body parts look better, but please do not look at pictures of celebrities and see, wow, they have nice arms, so if I follow their arm program, I'm going to have the same arms. I promise you, most of what determines how you look, whether you're lean, muscular, fat, skinny, whatever, is genetics. Where you hold your fat is genetics. Where you lose your fat first is genetics. You can't do a bunch of curls and then get lean arms, right? It doesn't work like that. Genetics. And so claiming that this, oh man.
Why do some people have a six-pack, but it comes out?
Because they're on steroids is what that is. It's called GH gut, you know? Come on. This guy knows this.
Because they're doing a sit-up wrong. Abs are really important to learn how to do. And so when you're doing a crunch, where are you breathing? These are all things I have to teach you. And when you start to learn them, now you own them. Posture is really a big part of it. You know, I know your parents are always going, stand up straight, stand up straight. Well, nobody can just stand up straight. That'll last about 2 seconds. Somebody puts a finger in your back, you stand up straight, and then about a minute later, you're down. Well, how about if I build the muscles in your back up so that I'm pulling you back? Now you're standing up straight. When you're standing up straight, everything
This is very helpful for BED. Appreciate it, my man.
looks like $1 million. In all my programs, anytime I train somebody, that is key. I have to get their posture perfect.
Interesting. Starting to feel like an ad, maybe, you know, just a little bit.
So ATU Mobile became
Wow.
something that I decided to do because so many actors and actresses ask me when they go on location, what do I do? Sometimes you're sleeping, I can't talk to you, I really need a program I can just do. And so I came up with an idea. I'm gonna make a website that acts like an app on your phone. So either you can use it on your tablet, your computer, or your phone. You're gonna go through a series of questions. Be as specific as possible because it tells me every single thing I need to know about you. What I do is when you pick your body type, and there's 5 body types.
Bro, this part, oh my gosh. Look at these body types. Inverted triangle,
I know
rectangle,
by that,
wide base triangle, hourglass, and then whatever.
what is overdeveloped, what is underdeveloped. Then I create a program to make sure it's balanced front to back, right to left.
No, it's...
So a lot of times what happens is somebody's glutes are not developed enough.
Okay, and remember, it's important that you remember the target audience of this video is young women, okay? Young women. If you read the comments, which I don't recommend...
because that's the kind of body type they have. So I have exercises in there to be able to isolate the hamstring from the glute. A lot of times when you're doing an exercise, you're using different muscles at the same time. So I've created these exercises so we're able to target exactly the muscle I want. So now I know, okay, the person did 2 hamstring exercises. Now it's time to go to the glute. And because the hamstring is tired, it won't help the glute. So now I can isolate the glute. So everything's a pre-exhaust into the next exercise. So you're not lifting heavy weights, we're just isolating. Isolate the muscle, I can now get it to contract and create the lines that you want and what you see on TV and in the movies. The other thing a lot of people do is they do the same thing over and over and over again. The body gets bored. You keep doing the same workout, you're not going to see any change.
No. That's just not true, okay? Your body is smart, but it doesn't. One of the most agreed upon things in building muscle is called progressive overload. So what that is about is literally about doing the same thing and then adding more weight or adding more reps, but doing the same exercise so then you can track whether you're getting stronger or you're able to do more reps. Like, he is basically saying confuse the muscle is what he's saying here, which has been a meme in the fitness industry for literal years, dude. Oh my gosh, bro.
So you always have to learn something new. Your body can't get used to it. It has to change.
But I do remember before I went home, I was here at my apartment for about 2 weeks and I had lost a significant amount of weight and I didn't go to Orange Theory Fitness once at all, and it really proved to me it's really like weight loss is 90% your diet.
Yeah.
Bro, this part made me so mad when I saw it. Because she was right already. She was already right. She already knew. She already had the answers. And now she thinks she's wrong. Bro, weight loss happens in the kitchen. Fitness happens in the gym. Your diet is so much more important if you're trying to lose weight. If you're trying to gain muscle, it's a different story. But still, your diet is so important. Oh my God.
Yes, you can lose weight. You're going to lose it on the scale. And you're going to feel good maybe about yourself for a little bit. But unfortunately, you're fooling yourself. When you lose weight without exercising, what happens is you're eating muscle. When you eat muscle, what happens is when you get down to whatever your goal weight is on the scale, you're going to start to gain weight again. You will never hold that number because you didn't do it right. You ate the muscle. The muscle is the engine for burning calories.
It's just frustrating because some of what he's saying is true. Like, I truly do believe that weight training and lifting will help. Like, I think that the fact that I've lifted for most of me losing weight, well, actually, when I lost most of my weight, I didn't lift. But, like, since I've lost the weight, I've lifted. I really do think that's helped. But, like, it's just so ham-fisted and, like, not correct, but like there's like morsels of truth in it. It's just frustrating, dude.
Since muscle is so important, I take BCAAs to help promote the muscle growth and protect it. This one
Wow, another ad. How surprising.
in specific is made in the US and only has high quality ingredients, which is why I'm okay taking it. And if you're not already, take a vitamin B12. A deficiency in B12 leads to feeling tired and weak, and you don't want to feel that way during your workout.
The more lean muscle.
Again, like this is her telling these people to take these supplements, okay? Her audience is young women, very young women.
So your body has, the more calories your body will burn just being you. So if you just diet and you don't build lean muscle, you're going to epically crash. And then once you go back up to your original weight, you're actually going to be fatter than you were before. Your body fat percentage will go up. You want to hold all your work. If we're going to do this, let's do this right. Let's own that weight.
It's 5:24 a.m. I have to leave my house at 6:15 a.m., which means I'm getting about 55 minutes of sleep, and it's because I've been editing all night long trying to finish this video. It's done. This pimple, it's probably from lack of sleep.
Sleep is so important. If you don't get enough sleep, your body will not allow you to burn fat. Sleeping is key.
So sleeping is very important. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. But to do that on screen, lack of sleep equals no fat burned. So what people are going to think is like if they don't get enough sleep, they literally cannot lose weight. And again, it's not true. It's just not true. Sleep is important. It's very important. And you should be getting enough sleep. 1000% you should. But like this is just not true. Like I don't know why it always has to be like 100% this thing, 100%. It's just not necessary. It's so frustrating, man.
If you're only getting a few hours of sleep, you're actually working against yourself. So the deeper your sleep, your body repairs. It allows it to burn fat for energy.
It's time for bed. Melatonin gummies gonna knock me right out. Good night.
A body set point. That's where a body likes to be. So let's say you're 200 pounds, 20% body fat. That's where your body likes to be. To change that, need to exercise, nutrition, cardio. We need all three. The idea is to build the muscle, burn the fat, bring down the numbers. That becomes your new set point. Now, when you're there, if you're...
So the thing with set point is that it's very confusing, and a lot of people have a lot of different theories about it, but he makes it so like it's such a simple thing that's like, this is what it is. It's this. It's just not, it's not that simple. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I've talked to my friend, Dr. Spencer Nadolski, who is, he's a obesity doctor, and we've talked about set point, and he's like, it's not just like this. It's super simple. It's very confusing.
We're happy with that number, we stay right there. We hold that. The lower you go, the longer you have to hold that to make it your set point. Once you hold it, then it's hard to move that. So
he basically just said the lower the body weight that you're at, the longer you have to stay there for it to become your set point, dude. That is so dangerous to say to young women. Like, come on, man. That is so dangerous to say.
don't think that when you get to where your goal is, you can just stop doing what you're doing. Not at all. The whole idea is when we get to the goal, we got to hold it. And a lot of people use that as a way of dieting. I'll just undereat.
My plan backfired. I thought it would work and I'd be back to where I was. But for the past 2.5 weeks, I've been really trying to undereat. And when you undereat, you tend to overeat other days. And you don't always make the best food choices when you're overeating.
So I tried reducing my calorie intake a lot today to make up for yesterday. And well, now I'm eating this.
When you lose weight by undereating, yes, you start to drop. But you're not just dropping fat, you're also dropping muscle. So remember, muscle is the engine for burning calories. So we took this big engine and now we're making it a small engine. So let's say you come down a few pounds. You're starting to look good. You think this is my answer. What happens is you undereat and you undereat. It gets to a point where your body will not change anymore because your same calories you were undereating at, what happens is your body starts not reacting to it the same.
Now, I don't disagree with any of this, really, for the most part. I think undereating is not a smart way to try and lose weight. But it's like, how do you not see how what you've said earlier is so contradictory to what you're saying right now? I don't know. I don't get how you don't see the disconnect there.
And now, since you've eaten so much muscle by undereating, you've cannibalized the muscle, now you have more fat percentage than you did before, and you don't have enough muscle. Now what you're eating starts to turn to fat, and you start gaining weight again.
If you're in a caloric surplus, yes, you will gain weight.
And you're softer, and you're like, what is going on? What happens is you can't undereat anymore, and now you start gaining scale weight because you didn't do it right. If you think there's a shortcut to doing this right, you're wrong. And it's gonna cause you to yo-yo diet, and when you yo-yo diet, you're gonna start to have a lot of other things come in. You're gonna get very emotional about it, and you're not gonna feel good about yourself. When you do this program, it's 3 parts. It's weights, it's nutrition, it's cardio. The idea is for all 3.
I like how he started that with when you do this program. So if that doesn't prove that this is basically an ad, I don't know what will. I'm not sure if I know that she put in her, she put in a pinned comment here. She says, to all the negative commenters, so that's probably me, start watching this video at 1840. And then she says, I'm also saddened by the comments claiming this is just one big ad. I've kept my whole journey raw and real with you since season 1, which began in 2018. The Google search on Steve is to display how he was the celebrity fitness trainer who has a client list from Victoria's Secret models to movie superheroes. And I still failed. Apparently she worked with him in person and failed, and then she was able to do it. But it's like, dude, of course people are going to think this is an ad when literally it's an ad. I don't know if you got paid for it. If you didn't, that kind of sucks. But this is an ad for his services. That's what this is. Whether or not you're getting paid for it or not, I don't know. But this is an ad. He literally said, when you start this program. He's advertising the program, right? That's an ad. It's pretty simple, right?
3 parts to be there. But when you start, some people can't focus and get all 3 parts there. It takes them some time. Sometimes the weights are hard to get off the couch and actually start your workout program. The nutrition is hard to get going, or the cardio is. Even though it's all right there and I tell you exactly what to do, your brain doesn't wrap around it. So if you say, okay, I'm gonna do the workout.
Okay, I know that I'm being nitpicky here, but the thing that makes me feel weird, the way that he's talking, it's pretty clear to me that he knows he's talking to a young audience, right? Because the way he's talking, I doubt that he's talking to Chris Evans, right? Who I'm sure I don't know, maybe he didn't train them, but whatever celebrity you want to insert in there. He's probably not okay, Chris Evans, Captain America, what we're going to do is this. It's no, it seems like he is very much so intentionally slowing things down and explaining everything as much as he knows how to, because he's talking to a young child is what it seems like. So it's just, dude.
And I'll work on the nutrition, or I'll do the nutrition and I'll get the workouts going. Either way, you start to do it and get going on it. And even if you're not seeing the results you want right away because you're actually not giving it 100%, that's okay too. Keep hitting it, keep showing up. Because all of a sudden what happens one day, and it happened to Alivia, one day something happens. It clicks up here and you're like, oh my gosh, I got the workouts, I got the nutrition, I'm hitting the cardio, bang, 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 and things start to change quick. But the only reason they change quick is the first 3 months, 4 months where you're not seeing the changes you want. You kept doing it. And then all of a sudden when it clicked and it was all there, you had the unbelievable change. It would never have happened if you didn't do the first part. So don't think you're wasting your time. Super important to understand that. So just be consistent. I promise you, if you're consistent, it will eventually all click in and happen if it doesn't happen right away.
Wake up! Jesus frick, dude, why was that so loud? Gosh. Okay, well, that's the end of that. I don't know, man. It's just really frustrating seeing this. And when you have an audience that is that large, I think it's important to, really vet the information that you're putting out there. Because this is stuff that has been, debunked for so long. And it's just not necessary, especially you guys. The thing that's really, really, really important that I hope you get is that all of these videos so far have been about BED and her dealing with binge eating and how it's really made losing weight hard. This guy didn't bring that up even for a second in this whole 20-minute ad that he put in. Right? It's frustrating, man. Again, Alivia, I don't have anything wrong with you. I don't think you're a bad person. I think that you were used, and this person took your platform, which is very large, and shared a lot of really bad misinformation.